My channel, guys. Today we're going to do a car wash. We're going to go over some of the proper procedures for how to do a car wash. And here in front of me today, our test subject is going to be a G37. So let's get started. Agitate the dirt that is on the car before we rinse the soap off. So you want a nice cloth just like this. I bought this right off of chemicalguys.com. And when you're agitating the dirt on the car, if you come a little closer, you never really want to do swirl marks. You want to do straight lines. You always want to do straight lines. That way, if you have any kind of grit or dirt or on your rag, what that's going to do is if you do have dirt on your rag and you do this type of motion, all that sand that's in your cloth is going to create swirl marks, and that's what you're trying to prevent. So just in case there is dirt, you're doing straight lines, it's a lot easier to buff and polish out. So once you notice that you do have some grit and stuff on your mitt, what you want to do is you want to come over here, you want to make sure that you're using a 2-bucket method. And when you're doing the 2-bucket method, as you can see, there's a little bit of soap in both these, but this is my rinse container right here, and this is my soap container. So we're going to get a little bit of this soap out, and but what I really want to show you guys is to make sure that you're always using a grit container. That way, if you have dirt in this and you go to do this, the dirt gets trapped underneath. You rinse off all the dirt, and you get new water and new soap on your rag, and then you continue to work the top-down method. Just like this. Always do top down because on the bottom of the car, that's where all the dirt and most of the grime is. You want to wait because a lot of times you'll contaminate your rag, and you don't want to do the dirtiest part of the car first before you do the cleanest part. I use is a air compressor with an air gun. It's awesome. One of the most important parts about drying your car is making sure that you have one of the right cloths to use. I believe this one is a 600 GSM. I like to use it. It absorbs water pretty well, not too much, and it's pretty plush at the same time. So one of the methods that I go by, seeing that I usually work on very high-end cars, is that the rule is the less that you touch the car, the less likely you are to scratch it. A lot of people will use the pat-down method. So like if I'm working on a Ferrari and I have this right here and I want to dry it, you would simply just put it on the car like this, pat it down, lift it off. Another method is the one-stroke method. So you simply just do this, you go in straight lines. Everything you want to do is going to be in straight lines. I don't want to risk having a small piece of grit on this and scratching this car. And we're going to continue to do this until it's completely done. After this, we will move on to possibly steaming the rims and other things. But let's get started with drying this car, because if we do not dry the car fast enough, it will start to leave water spots, and that is going to be your worst nightmare. Make sure you dry your car in the right temperature. Right now this is a very hot and sunny day, so what we're going to do is we're going to move this car into the garage and dry it in the garage. That way it will give us a little bit more time to prevent water spots. Okay guys, I'm going to give you an example for why using an air compressor is a great idea for drying your car. You may think that your car is completely dry and done, like my client thinks that it's good to go, but this is just the beginning. Have you ever finished washing and drying your car and thought it was completely done, and when you drove off or you opened up your door and you closed it and then water just came down? Specifically on the bottom of the mirrors. I'm going to show you how the air compressor helps out. The air compressor is allowed to get tiny spaces, a lot of spaces that you can't get with a rag. Let me give you another example. Guys, so if you like the air compressor technique and you want to use the same method, I recommend getting a little air compressor like this. It's not too small, it's not too big, and it's very cost efficient, so it doesn't cost you $800. What I recommend is this DeWalt right here, and this is a 200 PSI, 1.6 horsepower, 15-gallon air compressor. So if you like this, what I'll do is I'll put a link below in the video that'll take you to purchasing this on Amazon with the best deal that you can find. Hope you enjoy. So now, since we almost got the car clean, we're going to touch up the rims a little bit, get them cleaned up, and I'm going to show you a great way of saving a lot of money without using chemicals on your rims. So the steamer I'll be using to do this, to clean the rims, is going to be the VX5000. This is a commercial vapor steamer and the #1 best in the world, in my opinion. So let's get started. So if you want to make a lot of money, invest into getting a steamer, because it'll prevent you from having to keep buying so many chemicals for your rims, which, by the way, a lot of the chemicals you shouldn't be spraying on your rims because they're considered acid. Acid will continue to eat through and cause corrosion on your rims, which is not what you want. Simple method: use a steamer, have a nice cloth to wipe it up, and you simply just steam away the dirt and grime. Alright guys, so this is just one small example of what the steamer can do. The client was complaining about how chemicals and stuff of that nature could not get the rims clean. It took me 2 seconds to spray the steamer on this. And look how clean this one little area is. So let's just do it just a little bit more so you can see. Alright guys, we made it back. We got the rim steamed nice and clean, car's dry, car's washed. We still haven't put protection on the car yet, but we're going to go ahead and move to cleaning the inside of the car. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to vacuum the car out as much as you can. Get the big stuff and then work your way to the different accessories on your vacuum to get in the cracks and crannies. You can also use the steamer to get side of the doors and other parts of the seat and cracks that you can't get with just a rag. Use that same technique that we showed you on the outside of the car on the inside of the car. So when you're vacuuming and steaming the carpets, the first thing to do is you're going to want to vacuum everything. Once you vacuum everything, you want to spray some kind of carpet cleaner or something onto the carpet. Take a brush and do straight lines, left, right, up, down, and then vacuum everything. Once that's complete, take the steamer and do left to right with the steamers. You should see a zebra stripe lines on the actual carpet. Now, having those lines are very important because what it does is it gives the customer a sense of knowing that the carpets were actually clean and done, and it makes the car look very professional. So let's get started. Once all that dirt comes loose, we can take the vacuum and we can vacuum everything. Another technique you can use is once you agitate it and do all that, you can take the steamer you can steam it and then wipe it up. And you keep doing this until all the dirt is gone. And if you steam it, you can also vacuum it at the same time. Wow. Once you get done with all of that, you can take this Chemical Guys leather cleaner, which I haven't opened up yet. And you can put a little bit on the edge of your detailing brush. And you can condition all of the leather. By the time you get done, it should look like a brand new leather seat. So we're going to go ahead and get started and doing this around the entire car, getting all the vents and everything and then we'll move on to the next section of the video. Okay guys, so we got the inside of the car nice and clean. We're going to start working with the finishing touches of the car. So what I have here, I have Chemical Guys VR dressing, and the reason why I use this is a nice tire gel. It also helps restore plastic and rubber, and the reason why it's important to use a tire gel instead of some kind of spray-on cleaner or shiner is because when you drive the car, usually the liquid will sling all over the car, and that nice pretty car that you just washed is now going to be contaminated, and you're going to see the spots along the car. So we're going to take a specific detailing brush, we're going to take the dressings, put a couple drops on, and then we're going to lightly just brush the outside of the tire, so that way the tire has this deep glossy effect and it won't sling all over your car, and it also does not collect dust or grime. And the best part of it is that it dries to the touch. Alright, so we just got done doing all the tires, so we're going to move on to preparing the outside of the car with protection. What I have here today is one of my favorite high-grade sealants. The client chose to do this because this is a sealant that's supposed to stay on your car for up to 12 months if you maintain it correctly. And not only is it hydrophobic, but it is also UV protection, and it's going to be good on the car for 1 year, so you don't have to worry about water spots. You won't have to worry about the dirt and water spots. Specifically water spots. Especially water spots can be really bad in specific areas like this one, so this is going to help the client keep his car nice and clean year-round.
What?
So we're getting ready to add this jet sealant, but before we begin, we are going to clay his car. That way we get all the contamination off the car if we didn't get it during the wash. And what you want to do is you want to spray the clay lube on the car just like this. You want to break off a piece of the clay, and you want to get it nice and flat. And when you go to clay the car with it nice and flat, you just want to gently just rub it like this. And you'll get contamination off of the car that you normally can't see with your naked eye. That way it's completely ready for a nice layer of protection. So as you can see, you thought the car was clean, but it's pulling off a lot of contamination. After that, we're going to take our polisher and we're going to add a couple drops. We're going to add a couple drops of the jet seal onto the finishing pad, and we're going to rub it in. And we're going to rub it in very well. This polisher that I'm using is a Rupees Mark 21. In my opinion, is one of the best on the market. What I've done with it is I've modified the backing pad because I've used up the other one. And I've put this backing pad to fit a 5.5 inch pad specifically just for this job. And you want to have it on the lowest settings. And you just want to tap the car with it and then turn it on. And you want to go over the entire car just like that. With the jet seal, you want to leave it sit on your car to bond with the paint and clear coat for about 45 minutes. And then after that, you can take a cloth and do straight lines and rub it off. Come to the end of this video, I just want to talk to you for a moment for why you want to take your car to get car washed at a professional organization or business. And it's because if you take your car, for example, to a normal car wash and you put it in one of those machines, what I would be worried about is the dirt and grit that's on the cloth in the car washes already. And when you push your car through a car wash machine, you could be potentially scratching it. Most likely it will scratch your car. So you want to make sure that you learn these methods and procedures so that you don't scratch your car. I've heard before 85 to 95% of the scratches on your car actually come from the person washing the car themselves. So learning these methods will help you in the future. Alright guys, I hope you liked the video. If you do, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. This is the final version of the car, so let's do one last look around the entire car. Okay guys, so that was a nice look around the car. I hope you liked it. This car wash took around 5 hours. If you like the car wash, send me a comment below. If you're in my local area, I would love to wash your car. Stay tuned for the next video.